Welcome to this chapter 2. We are dealing with Kotlin, and we want to look at how to work with the first chapter within these sessions. The first chapter we want to look at is to initiate ourselves to the programming language. Like I said earlier, is this particular language called the Kotlin. It is one that is in line with Java. So if you have been working with Java, there are some concepts that we expect you to be knowing, and there are a few that we are going to look at purposely for the introductory part of how to work with Kotlin when you're developing mobile application. So we are looking at mobile applications, and we want to learn the language first, and then we see how best we can manipulate the logic for mobile applications. If you have worked with Java before, you should be able to notice that Java is object-oriented programming language, so applies to Kotlin. Kotlin is both. It can support both systems, both procedural and object-oriented. The other beauty is that Kotlin is one language that you can work with, and the application that you have used using Kotlin can cut across different operating systems like Android, like iOS. So it means that you don't have to keep on compiling your applications on different platforms. The other beauty is that when you look at the syntax is condensed. If you have been working with Java, you should be able to look at this and realize that this is a condensed version of function. So with Kotlin, it uses the word fun to stand for function. So initially in Java, you have possibly written things like this: function, okay, that is the keyword, and then what comes next is the function name. So we have the function name coming next there, then we have the parenthesis, and then we have the block of the code comes there. So this is familiar, okay? If you've worked with Java before, this is kind of familiar. We have the function, and then we have the function name, the parenthesis, and then the block of the code goes there. So this is the same thing, just like having the word function. So with this particular language, it kind of condenses the code to fun, and then the function name comes next. Then we have the parenthesis where we can put arguments. An argument is what we normally carry on. So maybe A and B. Okay, maybe those are the arguments that are going to be taken in. We shall look at that later. When you look at this code, we have the fun, which stands for function, and then we have the main. It stands for the main function that is going to be executable. This is where the actual program runs. And then we have the arguments, and then array, string. And then we have the block. The beginning of the block is this, and then up to that point. So these two curly braces, they stand for the beginning of the code to be executed and the end of the code that is going to be executed. So whatever that you need to be executed will get inside there. Okay, so in this particular program, that is default, that comes along as long as you are running Kotlin, it will come with print hello world. Let's try to understand this language, this statement print. We have different prints. We have two. We have the print, and then we have the print ln. ln stands for print line. So what means what this code means is that when we have something like print and then print ln, what happens with print, it will push the content on the screen. Okay, let's have this print ln, and then we say welcome to Kotlin. So welcome to Kotlin. So when we look at these two codes, they do the same thing, but they do it differently. I'm going to save changes. Saving changes. Save all. Okay. So when you look at this, the first line, it's going to print, so it will push hello world out, and then the cursor will remain on the same line. But when you go to this print line, it will print out hello world, and the cursor will stay on the same line. Then it will print welcome to Kotlin. Then the cursor will jump to the next line. So print line means it makes the cursor go to the next line. Let's see how it behaves. Let's run. Okay, so it's now building and it's compiling the program. And there it is. So realize that it has hello world. So that is print. It means that our cursor remained on the same line, and then it found another execution that was telling it print line, meaning print and then move to the next line. That's why we have hello world, and then it is aligned with the welcome to Kotlin. However, when I put print line here, print line, okay, and then I will save changes and then run my code, you realize that these are going to be separate lines. It means that print line, then the cursor goes to the next line, and then yes, there it is. We have hello world and then welcome to Kotlin. It means that we have print line, and then it printed out hello world, then it pushed the cursor to the next line, and then it spitted out welcome to Kotlin. So that is the issue about print line and print. The two statements are quite different, but they almost do the same thing. Secondly, we wanted to look at the meaning of this. Let me just get rid of this. The meaning of this enclosed word. Why do we have enclosed words in double quotations? Just like Java is, you realize that we have different data types, the kind of data that we are operating with. We have what we call a string, we have variables, we have integer data types, we have Boolean data types. But for this particular data, it is a string, meaning it is a series. It's a series of characters. So when you look at this series of characters, they are combined together and they form what we call a string. So normally when you want to push a string out to be printed on the screen, it has to be enclosed in quotations. Another difference that I want us to notice is that normal other languages, most languages, they will have a semicolon at the end, but Kotlin, you can leave it without a semicolon at the end. So this is one thing that is so significant about Kotlin. Then another thing that we wanted to initiate ourselves to is that when you look at this code, there are some gray lines. These gray lines are commented out. A comment is one way of documenting your software. It explains what you intended to code. So if I want to say print line, this line greets you and welcomes you to the program. We don't want that line to be printed out, so we shall put it under after double slashes, and we shall say this is a comment. So it means that Java, this Kotlin or Java or C++, it will always treat this as a comment. As long as the line appears after the double slashes, it is always taken in as a comment. So it's majorly used to explain the meaning of a particular section or a particular segment in your code. Okay, so I'm going to comment this one out. So I don't need it. So I'm going to comment it out, meaning I don't want the system to be able to interpret it or to compile it. Much as it stays within my code, but I might not need the system to get it as part of what is supposed to compile or display. Another way of commenting is when you use a star, okay, and then we might not need this anymore. Likewise, we might not need that anymore, so it goes up to that point. So that kind of comment is common to Java, to C++, even Kotlin still uses it. So this is what we call a multi-line comment. So whatever that happens to be between the two slash and the star and the slash, always this part is a comment. Okay, it is treated as a comment, and the system can never ever compile it. It will always remain as it is. Okay, so that is it for the meaning of this code, to break it down and to have a better explanation of how it executes and the meaning attached. In the next chapter, we're going to discuss or to look at variables. Wish you a good stay, and please subscribe, like the channel, share the videos. Thank you.